Robert
Bye.
Pattinson.
Give us Batman. Sucks. Ducks. The Dark Knight is the only good one out of those. Oh shit. Cloverfield 887, thank you so much for the host. Yo, it's
As many of you
Pattinson.
probably already know, we were in the beginning stages of production when COVID hit, so now I'm very anxious to get back to work and continue to form this beloved character.
Bale sucks ass.
I've always been.
The Dark Knight was the only
fan.
good movie. I respect Batman Begins as a prequel, and I hate The Dark Knight Rises. It's the worst one out of them all.
To the great Matt Reeves is somewhere around here, and he can determine what can and can't be.
Robert Pattinson has the perfect face for Batman. He's just flat-faced. He's flat-faced and he's stern. That's the face of Batman. Blade 2 is better than all of the Bale movies. Yes, it is. Blade 2 is, in fact, well, Blade 2 versus The Dark Knight, I would be iffy about that. I don't know how I feel about the Arkham game. Looks kind of whack with co-op.
I'm so excited that you're
Yeah,
here. Thank you so
Cloverfield,
much for coming
I'm
by.
with you on that.
It's great to be here.
So, as Robert said, it's super early to tell us much about the movie, but I think what's exciting about where we are
That is-
with,
is
with
that Matt
DC
Reeves?
and with this franchise specifically is that there's been a multiverse of Batman, right? And now you're taking over this particular
long-haired Batman
iteration
incoming.
of
It's
Batman.
I think
What
they said it was a
made you
year or
wanna
two
tell
story.
a Batman story. I mean, this is a heavy lift.
Yeah,
What was it
Cloverfield,
that
you're
drew
right
you
though.
to this
The
character in
new
this world?
Arkham game, I don't know. It looks
Batman
dumb.
since I was a kid, and I never even
The
imagined.
new Arkham game looks
when I
dumb.
began
I'm
making
sorry.
movies that I would
Like,
do
normally I'm
genre
like, oh my
movies
god, maybe
because
we got to give it a
I just
chance.
love
Nah.
certain kinds of
Yep,
movies
that is
were
Aisha
very
Tyler, Lana
character-based,
Lang
and
herself.
It's really interesting that as
I can't wait for the new Batman 2021 movie. I can't wait to see Keaton again. And I can't wait for the Batman either.
But under the guise of these
Guys, we're getting
sort
so
of
much
great
Batman in these
mythic
next 2
tales,
years.
And in particular, what excited
Like we're
me,
getting
and the
Snyder
thing I
Cut next
related
year. We're
to
getting the Flash
in
with
the Batman story
with
was that
Keaton
he
next
isn't a
year.
superhero in the traditional
And I think
sense.
we're
You know, he
getting
might have a cape, but he can't fly. He's like
I think
you
we're
and me, but if he
getting
has a
I think we're getting the
superpower,
Batman in
it's the ability
2021
to
too.
endure, and not only the ability, but the kind
And then
of
hopefully we'll get Jeffrey D.
compulsion. And so that
Morgan as
idea of
Thomas
being
Wayne
that
one
driven
day.
by your past
With
and
Tom
by
Hardy
the
or
things
Michael
that you
Keaton.
can't quite resolve in yourself.
Matt
Like,
Reeves does
he's
look
a very
a young
alive
Jim Gordon.
character.
He
And
does.
to me, to tell a
Yo,
version of
Darth, she is a
Batman where,
queen.
again, it wasn't
I'm
about
crying.
how
Go
he became
Batman.
Batman, but it's about the early days of how he is Batman, and he is so far from being perfect. And watch us sort of see him becoming what we all know about him and see it in
Just
new
give me
ways.
Kevin Conroy
I
as
felt
Batman.
like that was a
Oh
way
my
to do something
God.
that hadn't been done.
That'd
and
be
that was
cool.
really what I was excited to be able to do in this iteration.
You have said that all of us imagine ourselves, or have imagined ourselves to be Batman, and I know that's why I love those stories from the time I was a kid, because
I
he
imagine
didn't come
myself
from
as
another
Superman.
planet, right? He
I
doesn't have
don't
magical
want to
powers. He's
imagine
just a
myself as a
guy
mentally
that wants
ill
to do
rich
good.
And
man
that's the thing. The other question is
with
what is good? One
all
of the things
kinds
that I
of
think
mental
is interesting
problems.
is
I'm
learning
good. I'll
how
be
to
Superman.
Batman. You know, the whole idea, this is all an experiment in the movie. The idea is that we're in year 2. It's the Gotham experiment.
good.
It's a criminological
I'm down
experiment.
for
He's
this,
trying
and
to
I don't
figure
mind
out
it's not canon,
sort of
right?
what he can do that can finally change this place. And in our story, as he's in that mode, that's where you meet him and you see that he is charting what he's doing, and he's seeing that he's not
Superman's a
having any
big
of the
pussy.
effect
You watch
that he
your
wants to have
sexy
yet. And
mouth,
that
Darth.
is when the murders start to happen, and then the murders begin to describe sort of the history of Gotham.
You watch
in a
that
way
fine,
that only
you
reinforces
watch
what he
that
knows
fine
about
mouth of
Gotham,
yours,
but
okay?
it opens up
That
a whole
sexy
new
mouth
world
of yours. You
corruption that
watch it
went
right
much
now,
farther.
boy.
But as that story starts to come out, without being an origin tale for him, it ends up being something that touches on his origins. So you start to see that as it starts to describe this epic history of corruption in Gotham, that you start to understand, well, where did my family sit in that? And in that sense, I think all of that is a way to take a story that is a detective story, a very point of view story, a mystery. It's got, of course, you know, action, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of it, it also is incredibly personal for him, even
They
though
said this
it
movie's
is the
gonna
story
take,
in which he's trying to understand and unravel this mystery.
They said that this movie's going to have
It's
elements
so
of
weird.
Long Halloween,
I'm
which is
really
also going to be
excited about it.
interesting.
Speaking of what we
Are we
know
gonna see Zoe as
about
Catwoman?
Gotham, you've revealed some of the characters in this story, and the casting is just extraordinary.
Oh God.
They're amazing. I mean, you know, we have, you know, Paul Dano plays a version of the Riddler that
Oh, he does.
no one has ever seen before, and it's really exciting. He's such an incredibly creative actor, and so what he is doing, I think, is going to blow people's minds. And then to have, you know, Zoe Kravitz, her iteration of Selena Kyle, like,
God,
to
I
me,
can't wait to
that's
see
incredibly exciting.
Catwoman.
You have
Oh
an
my
iteration that
God.
you've never seen of what she's doing, but it touches on all these kind of iconic
I
sort
can't
of things that people
fucking
know from the
wait
comics.
to see
So it's always
Catwoman.
about trying to square what you sort of know with what also is new, and that is really part of, I think, the exciting sort of process of making a Batman movie, which is to find a way to make it your own and to find a way for the actors to make it their own, and yet still connect to all these things that people also go, oh, that's my Selina. I know who that is. And I think,
Yo,
guess the
Darth,
one
that
thing
mouth
about
should do other things
the
too.
Rogues
I'm just
Gallery
saying.
is that it actually, in a
At
weird
least we
way,
can have some
is the
functional human
origins
beings.
of a
Yeah,
lot
exactly.
of our Rogues Gallery
Exactly,
characters. So,
Groovy.
like, Selina isn't Catwoman
Batman's
yet.
like,
That's actually
help
part of
me,
the
but don't
journey.
come near me type
Oz is
shit.
not yet the Kingpin that he's going to become. He's the Penguin. In fact, doesn't like being called the Penguin. And the Riddler is just emerging for the first time. So that's all incredibly exciting. And then we have, like, you know, to have Andy Serkis, who is, you know, I work with on the Apes movies, is one of the most beautiful actors, and he is playing an iteration of Alfred.
Oh, yeah, I
that
forgot
feel
he's
like
playing
people have never
Alfred.
seen before, which is really exciting to share with people. And then we have an incredible, for me, like, I just think that Jeffrey Wright is just one of the great actors, and to be able to work with him in a totally new iteration of Gordon, and then we have, you know, the amazing John Turturro, who's going to be a Carmine Falcone, who, again, I think in this iteration you've never seen.
I think it's
going
gonna
to
be a crime mystery movie with, I hope, decent fight
I
scenes.
think, for me, was one of the challenges, but also exciting things about the creation of the story, which is that in going on this sort of desire to solve, or the urge and the compulsion to solve this series of crimes, you touch on all of these iterations
Mystery
of the
movie.
beginnings of these characters, so that the whole movie is like, it's like a snowball rolling. You can just feel the momentum building and building, and that's the attempt.
It's exciting to be able to talk to you in the middle of making this, you know, this incredibly rich undertaking.
I wonder how far they got
You're
into
an incredibly
filming.
busy man, not just this film. It's just announced that you're going to be working on the Gotham PD series you're developing with writer
Yeah.
Terrence Winter. How are these two projects going to dovetail?
Gonna be weird seeing Serta
how
with
are
that
the series
digital
and the
monkey suit
film
on.
worlds gonna
Exactly.
overlap or connect?
Bro, Andy
Yeah,
is
totally.
Alfred,
I mean, for
core
me,
British accent. Oh my
The
god.
idea of this story was a
Andy
story
Serkis as
in which
Alfred's gonna be
Gotham,
interesting. I
which
think it'd
has
be
this
funny
sort
if
of
he
depth
played
of corruption,
Grodd.
and then the idea that
I
we
think
could
that would be
actually
hilarious.
do a series that is
Damn,
going
those
deeper
carrots were
into an
full.
aspect of it, which in this case is the corrupt police department, the corrupt inner workings of the city.
Either
And
one.
The way we're going to do the series, which is, I mean, I'm incredible. I mean, Terrence Winter is just like an incredible writer. So the idea
Show
that we
me
got
Zoe
him to do
Kravitz
this,
as
I mean, just
Catwoman.
is literally a dream.
Let me
And
see what her
the
suit look
idea
like.
is we go back to year one, and year one is the beginning of the emergence. It's the first appearance of this masked vigilante that starts to unsettle the city, and you start to see the story through the point of
It's
view
gonna be
of
interesting.
these
I hope that it
corrupt
doesn't
cops, and
have,
one in particular, and the story is
they're making
actually
another Gotham
a battle
show.
for his
I
soul.
loved the first
And he's a
Gotham.
cop
I think
over
it's unfair
generations, and
that they're
his-
making
the
another
history
one, though.
of corruption in Gotham is enormous and goes back many years. And the story is like, as you realize that there's this myth building in the background, you're actually in a new place where you've never seen these characters before, some of which we'll touch on that you may have seen from the comics, but others totally new. Then you can go down an avenue and go into detail that you,
Where are
you
they?
couldn't do in a movie, and to go into these sort of rich places and meet entirely new characters that Terrence is going to create. I'm incredibly excited about it.
That's awesome. I mean, like I said, it just
I enjoyed
dimensionalizes
Gotham
that
a hell of a
multiverse that
lot.
much more and adds that much
I
more
don't think
depth
it's
to
fair
it.
they're
Now,
making
as
it.
you know,
I don't think
here
it's fair.
in the DC Fandome, it's not just a celebration of all the superheroes and the villains that we love.
They didn't
but
even want to
most
make
importantly,
Gotham at
it's a
first, but now that
celebration
because
of
Gotham
the
was
fans.
insanely
So
popular
we have
because of
some
the actors and
questions
the
for
and
you
the stories, now you want to make
straight
another
from
one.
The fanverse, okay?
Okay, cool.
Here we go. All right, this question comes from Arvin in the UAE.
I don't think they have enough
and
footage
yes,
to
when it
show a
comes to
trailer.
costume
I just want to see
design
concept
and the
art of what
collaboration
Zoe
processes
Kravitz looks like
behind
as
it,
Catwoman.
To what extent were stars able to implement their own influence within the design?
That's a good question. You know, actually, quite a bit. I mean, we have.
They should have
of
left it with
course,
Gotham. They should
an
have. They
incredible
should have made
costume
another
designer,
spin-off if they want to
Jacqueline
make another
Duran,
one.
And the Batsuit was designed by Glyn Dillon, and they're geniuses. I mean,
They
it's
found
great
the
to
girl
work
with
with
the
them.
hawk
But one of the
legs?
things that's really
In
important
Gotham?
is being able to work with the actors. Like Rob had a very important part in designing the suit in that he had to be able to wear it. He had to be able to fight in it. And one of the things about this
Yeah, we don't want to
Batsuit
have another
is
mishap
that
like
it
Christian
is-
Bale's plastic
it's very
sex suit.
practical. The whole idea is that
Looking like
he's
the
made it
plastic
himself.
sex man
And
from
so
American
we
Horror
need to be
Story.
able to sort of see how it would fit on him in these ways that he could move, but also looked like it was something that was still evolving. And even the idea of the story, he's in year 2, so he's been wearing it. So like He goes every night looking for trouble. So you look at his cowl and you can actually see there are gashes in it, and all of that detail was an incredibly
I hope the
exciting
Batman
sort
has
of
good fight
dialogue
scenes,
between
though.
me and the costume designers, and then having Rob
Yes,
involved. And
I
so,
agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Bat Nipples was a
actors have
very
lot to
weird
do, 'cause
addition.
You always do a
Gotham
dialogue
ended well,
with
leave it be
everyone
Fox.
so
Facts,
that we can
nerd.
arrive at the thing that feels the most grounded, the most honest, and
Yeah,
the most
Bats. Yeah,
character-based.
Pattinson's suit looks really good. It does.
You know what, too? I will tell you this. One of the big things that Rob actually talked to Christian Bale, and Christian Bale was like, just make sure you're going to be able to relieve yourself. So all of that sort of was actually
Nobody
part of what
should
was
ask
important
Christian
to Bill
Bale's
too. It was
opinion
like,
on
okay,
anything
he needs
ever.
to be able to put it
I'm
on,
just
he also
saying he
needs to be able
shouldn't
to live
be
as a
the
human
console
being.
that you want to
here's a
ask
video
for things.
question
Just
from
saying.
Pedro in Brazil.
Hi,
Oh, shit.
I'm
Oh.
Pedro from Brazil.
Hola.
And I believe that one of the most important things about the
They
whole
ain't a bat
Batman
suit without some
mythology
rubber nipples
is
on
not
it.
just
Hey,
the
as long as we
characters
don't got
such as
no
Batman or the
nipples.
Joker.
I need a
It's
full suit pictures.
Gotham
I do,
City
Enzo. I need a full
itself.
suit picture for Batman and Catwoman.
So I wanted to ask you, what should we fans expect to see from Gotham City in this film? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Like, it's just as important as any of the Rogues Gallery. It's sort of like the nature of what this place is and the history of it is critically important to our
Gotham
story.
City
And
is
one
a
of the things that I really
shithole.
wanted to
Just
do,
in case
because
anybody
it's the
needed some
center of this story,
confirmation,
especially the
Gotham
history
City
of
is like
corruption
a
in the city,
cesspool of
was I
scum
wanted
and
to present
villainy.
it in a way that was really fleshed out. I wanted it
Full
to
pics,
feel like an
preferably
American
nude.
city you've
Facts,
never been to. I
groovy.
mean, other iterations have, obviously the Burton one had very, very theatrical, beautiful, beautiful sets, and Nolan had the version that he created in Batman Begins, and that was a particular thing, and then parts of Chicago and parts of Pittsburgh. And what we're trying to do is create a
Well, it
version
is
of
New
it
York.
that you haven't
Excuse
seen before.
me,
So some of the
Gotham
locations
City
that
is
we've
New York,
chosen, the idea is
Chicago,
to take,
and
let's say
Philadelphia.
there's like we have like a Gotham Square.
New York is pretty
so that's
yuck.
like
Bitch,
Times
you
Square,
live in
right?
New
Now, if we
Jersey.
shot
I
it
don't
in
want to
Times
hear you
Square, then
talk
you'd be
shit
like,
about
I guess
us.
Gotham is New York. But in our case, it's actually going to
New
be
Jersey
Liverpool.
is
And the
Gotham
idea is
because
to
y'all's
go
a
to
shithole
Liverpool,
that gets all
where
the
there's
bad
all
luck.
sort of the-
And meanwhile,
the
in New York, we
foundation
get
of
like the
Gothic
end
architecture,
result
and
of
then
y'all
add all of the more
disgustedness.
modern structures through CG, but in a way
Like
that you're
y'all
gonna,
get
when you
hit
see
by
the
a
movie, now
whole
that I've blown
storm,
it, of course,
and
I've
we
told
just
you
get
what it
like
is,
a
but you'll
little
go,
bit
hey,
of it.
Where's that city? Where did they shoot? And so
Jersey sucks.
The aspect of Gotham
Exactly.
and realizing it has been for me one of the great pleasures in getting to mount the movie.
That's amazing. Evla from Germany says, it's already known that the movie is going to explore Bruce's second year as Batman. How do the
Give?
citizens
I
of
thought
Gotham
Gotham was
perceive the
Camden.
vigilante?
Oh,
Canon?
that's a good question. Because it's still early and
Jersey is the
because
butthole
he
of
is a
America.
vigilante, which
True.
means he takes the law
New
into his
York
own
is the
hands.
notice
I mean,
me
if you were in a
senpai of
city
cities.
and there
And
was a guy who
Florida is
dressed
a
up as
hellmouth.
bat and showed up out of the shadows and sometimes confronted those
Gotham
people
wasn't
and
canon.
beat
It
them up
didn't. It,
because
it
he
got,
felt what they
Gotham
were
doesn't
doing was
like
wrong, so that
lead
he
up
could
to
sort of put the
anything.
fear
So it's his
of
own
God in them
thing,
about
like the
crimes
Joker
that they're
movie.
committing. I think we would wonder, well, gee, that guy sounds a little
You
dangerous.
mount that
He's not
fucking movie.
yet
What movie am I
the
mounting,
vision of the
Groovy?
character that he becomes, where he becomes a symbol of hope for the city. He's earlier in the trajectory, and so
A symbol of
they're
hope.
afraid of him,
Batman is a
frankly.
mentally
He's kind of a
unstable,
growing legend. I think there are some
egomaniacal
people
rich
who are wondering,
boy
does he exist? How exactly does he exist?
with mental
And
problems.
that legend is building day by day and has been since he made his first appearance about a year and a half ago, as we were in year 2. So yeah, the public is afraid of him. I mean, that's one of the things I think that he will confront in the course of the story, and that Rob has to sort of deal with in playing the character, which is the idea of how he's perceived.
And speaking of Rob, Aditya in Indonesia has a video question.
What was the best part of Robert Pattinson that he was chosen as the new Batman?
I mean, the thing about
What's up,
Robert
big
Pattinson
homie?
is
Yo,
he's
what's up,
incredible actor.
Tagalicious?
I feel like the work that
Music for
he's
the
done
directing
in the
as-
last,
oh, okay.
I don't know, 6 years.
A symbol of hope is what
has
you
been
meant to say.
incredible.
I
Like,
meant to say a
friend of
mentally
mine,
unstable,
made a movie called Lost City
egomaniacal
of
rich
Z,
man
and
with mental
Rob
problems.
appeared in that movie, and I was like, who
Tagalicious,
is that
how
guy?
are
He
you,
had
bro?
just
Welcome
such
to the
charisma,
stream.
and Rob in the movie has this incredible beard, and you're like, who is that? And it's Rob. And Rob in The Rover, and Rob in Good Time. He is like a chameleon, and he is
You
so...
cannot shut
he's
the
just
hell up.
such
You
a gifted
cannot. You
actor,
cannot
and he's
tell
been
me, Dark,
working
that
on his
Batman is the
craft in this
pinnacle
really
of mental
incredible
health.
way. And
He is
also
like
happens
he
to
should be in
tremendous,
Arkham along with everybody
passionate
else.
Sort of fan of Batman the
Chilling,
way that
bro.
I am.
That's
And
good,
so
man.
it
How was your
this-
day? How's the
It was
dog?
an incredible thing to be able to connect with him and to share our excitement about the character and to work with him. I mean,
You are not Darth. You are not going to sit there on that fine ass and tell me that Batman is a mentally stable man.
That can play a Batman like you've
He
never
is so
seen
mentally
before.
healthy.
Andy from
Bitch.
Australia asks, how long did it take to build the Batsuit, Batmobile, and Batbike? And did you have to build a set to create the Batcave?
You know, it's funny. It's like stepping
Batman
into your
is the
childhood in a certain
pinnacle
way
of
because,
mental
You know, obviously
stability.
the
Like,
first thing you have to do is you have to craft a story
ugh.
that you think is worthy of the character. But then once you've done that, and it becomes like, oh yeah,
Take
we're
a
making
list,
this
my
movie,
dude. How are
one of the
you?
things you have to do is you have to design a Batsuit. You have to design a Batmobile. You have to
Show
have
us
a
full
Batcave.
pictures.
You have to
I
have
want to
a
see
Batbike, all the
Catwoman.
things that he's
I'm like
gonna
J.
have.
Jonah Jameson.
And
Show me
so,
pictures of Catwoman.
you know, for me, that's been one of the exciting things, and that happened even before we were quite done with the last iteration of the script. You know, we'd already gone through passes, and it was quite clear what the vision of the world was being. While I'm writing, I actually already have a
Just show
production
the
designer
Batpics,
on, and so
Reeves.
he would be
Show
sending
me
as I'm writing scenes,
Catwoman.
I might send stuff to James,
Just
and
been
he's like,
chilling,
oh,
bro,
well, what
spending
about
time
this
with
for
my
a
daughter and
Batcave?
stuff.
And so,
Oh, that's
yes, we
cute.
had to build a set for it.
He's smart
but
as
I
shit.
think
Of
it's an
course, he's
incredibly
mentally
original and
healthy.
different set.
Most
I think
smart
it's going to be
people
really fun
are
for the
mentally
audience to discover
unhealthy.
what version of exactly
Matt
this
Reeves is a
Batcave
talker.
is
I mean,
gonna
he's
be.
got to do
The
something to stretch out the
Batmobile
panel.
And the Batsuit, they took a long
Like
time.
Tarantino
you know,
levels. I mean, yeah,
Glenn
he's
came
got to
on
do something to
quite
stretch the
early,
panel out.
And we worked in the designing of it again as I was writing, and the idea of him being able to fight in it. And so they started illustrating, and I'd say we spent easily a year
No,
to
never
do
mind.
the Batsuit, and
Did
then to
you
get
know that
into,
Mr. Terrific
the Batmobile, and
is
that, of
smarter
course,
than Batman?
That part's a dream. I mean, you know, you start the idea of getting to do your own version of the Batmobile is like you're just kind of like
To the Batmobile.
What?
Blah,
That's the
blah,
incredible
blah,
candy, right? Like the
da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
telling of a story is the hard work and trying to make sure that you're doing the right thing, and then when you get to dive into the idea of this car that again feels connected to this version of the character, a grounded version of the character. This is something that he built.
Show me
and to try
pictures
and
of
look at those kind of
Catwoman.
rough seams and imagine how
Show
that
it to
works.
me.
It's been an incredible sort of gift to be able to do that.
So much fun. Alejo from Argentina asks, what will be the main difference between this Batman
not saying
and
Batman
the other
is the smartest person in the
incarnations
world,
from
but he's still
previous
smart as
films?
fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he
well,
is.
I mean, I think, you know, as we said,
Yes, he is.
it's not an origin tale, and you're meeting him in the early days. And for me, what's really important about this iteration,
I gotta make sure you
is
ain't a
that, you know,
Bat
a
God
lot
fanboy,
of the
you
other
feel me?
stories are very much
Guys, stop
about
being
how
mean to
he has
Matt
master
Reeves.
his fear and master it himself.
Why
in order
y'all
to become
being mean to
Batman, and
Matt
that in that
Reeves
Batman state,
for?
he's sort of in his best self.
I don't
And
want
think
grounded
for me
versions of
what was
Batman.
exciting
I don't
was
either. I
not
want
doing that,
spectacularly
not doing
comic
the
booky
origin,
versions
not
of
doing what
Batman
we'd
because
seen done so
Christian Bale
beautifully in
had
other
pitiful
movies,
fight scenes.
But instead, to meet him in the middle of this criminological experiment, to see him
Like, I want
in the
Pattinson to
becoming
have
of
really
Batman,
good
and
fight
to see him
scenes,
make
because
mistakes
that's also
as
what Batman
and
is.
see
He is a
him
master
grow
martial
and
artist.
fail and be heroic.
And I
do
want him
all
to
of the
have
things that we
excellent,
associate with
brutal
Batman,
fight
but in a way
scenes.
that felt very human and very flawed.
I'm a Batman
the
fanboy,
biggest
just
fantasy,
not a
of
Bat
course, as a
God
kid would have
fanboy.
been to be Batman.
That's why
And
you
so
my daddy.
The idea of putting the
I want
audience in the
Clayface.
shoes
I would
of
love
that
a Clayface
character
movie.
and make the audience
Since
feel
Clayface is
the
like
way
a
that
since
he
Clayface is
feels.
an actor
I
and
think
he can
that, to
shapeshift,
me,
they should
I
have
hope
like
is what's
different
different
people
about what we're doing,
portray
is trying to do it in
Clayface, like
exactly
men and
that
women
sort of manner.
actors,
And then, of course,
and just
the other
portray
things that are
Clayface in
from
different parts of the movie.
earlier history of the
Sure,
comics,
the fight scenes
like
with
him
Bale
being
were
the world's
lackluster.
greatest
They were
detective, how he
fucking
got there.
disgraceful.
You know, those things have been touched on, but I don't know
Like
that
the
they've been
Bale
essential to the
fights
plot
were like
as they
some
are
of
in
the
this
worst
particular Batman.
shit
So
I've
there's
ever
a lot
fucking
of things I
seen.
hope that will be totally different.
And it's like, so
Cliff
grounded
from
in reality
Australia
means he
asks,
can't
what's
throw hands.
one
Get out of
deep
here.
cut comic fans might be
That'd be lit,
surprised
right?
to see
A
has
Clayface movie.
inspired
They are
the
sleeping
Batman.
on that.
You know, for me, because I wanted to get into the mindset of the character and I wanted to think of the psychology.
Show me
For me,
Catwoman.
I think one of the cool deep
Show her
dive
to me.
was Darwin Cook's ego. He's confronting the beast that is Batman, and it's kind of, there's a kind of duality. I mean, there's a lot.
Y'all
in
gotta stop
what,
being mean to Matt
you know,
Reeves.
is trying
I can
to
talk and
do
y'all love
in the
watching me.
story
I'ma
about
hydrate
him
myself.
Confronting the shadow
'Cause
side
my
of
ass
himself,
thirsty.
the degree to which you
And
have
Darth is here, so I'm
self-knowledge,
even
you're
thirstier.
able to understand your motivations. But he's broken, Batman. So while he's doing all of these things for the reasons that he thinks is right and that have a heroic sort of grounding in them, there's also many things that are driven by the parts of himself he doesn't yet know. And so I would say
Hydration,
that kind of
yes.
sort of psychological, Jungian shadow side, that sort of version of it is very much connected
I'll
to that
hydrate you.
vision from
I'm
Darwin
looking
Cook, from
forward to
Ego.
that,
Yosef
daddy.
from Bolivia says,
Those
which
movies were more like, yo, Batman's smart
movie
and got hella
were
gadgets,
Matt
but no
Reeves'
fighting.
yours
Yeah.
inspiration for the Batman?
Oh.
He wasn't even correct.
Well,
Bale wasn't even that good
because the
of a
movie
Bale wasn't
is
even that good of a detective in his
detective
movies.
story because it is a
Like, where's Rachel? Where's the trigger? He was always asking where people and things were.
We're treating this Batman
He did
story
detective
as if
stuff
this
like
is-
twice,
as if
I
this could
think.
have happened. I mean, the idea is that
Bring me out like a
as I
rag,
said, Batman
senpai.
doesn't
I
have
got
this sort
you,
of the ability
baby.
to have sort
That's
of
why you my
superheroic
Darth
powers.
daddy.
He just has superheroic
Well, if you
focus
don't
and
get
superheroic
bat
drive.
nipples, at least
And
give us
so,
cat nipples.
For me,
I can live
a
without
lot of
cat
movies
nipples.
Like Chinatown was a key one because Chinatown.
I can stop sexualizing Catwoman. Could you imagine if someone said that?
Series of crimes that were part of that story. He discovers the depth of corruption.
Someone
in
says
Los
stop
Angeles.
sexualizing
And so in that way,
Catwoman.
it's like a
Catwoman is
classic
that
noir.
bitch. You leave her alone.
And that's very much this series of murders that Batman is investigating.
Where are the drugs,
very much in that
right?
mode. So Chinatown was a really
Show
big
me
one.
the
And that idea of that kind of
nipple.
gritty, flawed, this humanity.
Is that a
of it,
nipple
that
under
was
your
very much
dress, or is that a
inspired by
diamond
those
you
kinds of movies
stole?
by, like,
Yo,
French
that's
Connection and other
cool.
sort of cop movies like that. I would say even a movie like Taxi Driver, the description of a
I don't
place and very much
I don't
getting
think they had
inside
enough
of somebody's
time to
head.
film
And
enough
I guess
stuff
lot
to
of
show
really
a trailer.
Sort of 70s.
So maybe they'll show like a behind the scenes. Just show some
street
pictures. That's what I
grounded
care
stories.
about. I just want to see what Zoe
Matt, one of
Kravitz
the
is going to
exciting
look
things
like.
about the Batman as a character is that he's so layered and so
See,
kind
that's
of
the
intense that
Batmobile.
you can
That's
dip
how
into
he
his
looks.
life at different points, and none
But,
of these
like,
different characters, these different iterations
show,
of the
like, a
Batman
full-bodied
or Gotham or
group
the
of
entire kind
pictures,
of
my
Batman
guy.
universe as it was, will tread on the ground that others have already covered.
Oh, totally. I mean, for me, that's exciting. Like the idea of the history
My
of Batman.
internet
Like
died. I'm sorry, bro.
just
Don't
the
worry
idea of
about it,
the
Enzo. It's
actors
okay.
Who have played
Can't
Batman,
sexualize
like
stuff. The fuck can you
Adam
stop
West.
sexualizing? No,
When I was
Darth,
a
that
kid,
was the
like,
joke.
Adam West, that was like when I was 5 and watching him as Batman, like that
Darth,
blew my
that
mind.
was
I
the
wanted to be
joke.
Batman so badly, and then
You smuggling
I
diamonds in
remember
that
when I
cat
was a little
suit, or are
bit
you
older,
just
and
happy
then
to
Keaton
see
came on the
me?
scene with the Burton movie. I was so excited they were going to do a theatrical version of that. And then the iterations that have followed, like so many incredible people. I mean, Bale was amazing. I mean, incredible. Everything that Chris Nolan
Bale was not
is
amazing.
astonishing.
Don't stroke his ego.
I personally, I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he was incredible. Like
Ben
an
Affleck is the
iteration again
definitive
that we
version
hadn't
of Batman.
seen. So, like, in fact, I'm
Oops,
really excited
joke,
because
airplane
I know that
right over my head.
Zach is going to be doing the
I love
new,
Airplane. It's such a
Justice
great
League
movie.
cut of his that he didn't get to do originally, and now he's getting to do it, and I can't wait to see that. So for me,
Show
the idea
me
that there
Selena
are
Kyle.
sort of, first of all, to be a part of history like that is an incredible thing, and I do think that that's one of the things. It's kind of like the comics, you know. When you look at the comics, there are so many iterations of Batmans. There are so many different people's Batmans. There's the
Multiverse.
There's Neil Adams Batman. There's, you know, of course, there's Bob Kane and Bill Finger's Batman, and there's Frank Miller's Batman. There's so many.
You're not gonna
Batmans.
mention Kevin
And so,
Conroy.
To me, that's one of
You
the
gonna
joys
leave
of
Kevin
being in
Conroy
the kind of
name
comic book world,
out your
is to try
mouth?
and say, hey, what can we do to put our spin on this so that people can find
I
a
want
new
Catwoman
way
to
of
cat
looking at
crawl
that
in the
character
end of my
that
bed
they
and
love.
dominate me.
I remember.
What if I
when
wear
The
my
Dark
Michelle
Knight
Pfeiffer
Batman
Catwoman
when I was
outfit
a
and I
kid.
do that for you, Darth?
What a radical departure
Make
that
Tom
felt,
Cruise
like how
Batman.
exciting that
Isn't
was.
Tom
my
Cruise
God.
like
But it
short?
didn't erase all the ways that I had connected with that character.
And no, don't
previously.
say
It just
Tom
made the
Cruise
world richer
Wolverine.
and,
I'm
you
not in the
know,
mood.
More exciting. So,
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like
Tom
it's
Cruise
this
takes
strange
me out of
thing
movies. That's why I didn't
wanting
watch
to
the
be
new
able
Mummy
to
movie,
find a
because
way
Tom Cruise
to
in
come
it took
at
me out
some
of it.
new way, and yet it has to be
Close
connected to
enough,
that thing that you
right?
love. And that, for me, being part of that history and being part of all of that is sort of almost unbelievable. You
Tom
can't- you
Cruise
have to
should play
pinch
Darth
yourself.
Vader.
So, Matt, before we wrap up, I think that what the fans really want is to get just even a tiny glimpse of what the film is going to look like. And, you know, this is a fan experience. I'm hoping you brought us something we can show them.
It's Fandome, and
Give me
you know, having been
Catwoman.
to Comic-Con and all of that, I know you don't come without anything. And you know, look, we've only shot 25% of the movie, 25-30% of the movie, so there's so much. This is just scratching the surface, but there was no way that I could come here and not bring a look at the movie. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited to share what is just the first tease of our movie, and I hope you guys like it.
Show it to me! Oh, it looks so something. Guys, wait. I'll catch up on chat in a minute. Oh, damn. Excuse me, sir. No more lies. That's interesting. Damn.
From your secret friend.
All right, Commissioner Gordon's black in this one. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Cool. Cool choice, though.
Having a clue. Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Who's that bitch?
You're becoming quite a celebrity.
Robert Pattinson's gonna do so good as
Why is he
Batman.
writing to you?
Selena! Oh, that's not Catwoman yet!
If you are justice, please do not lie.
My girl,
What
Catwoman!
is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
Oh, shit. Kick his ass!
I'm vengeance.
Oh, shit.
This guy's crazy.
The hype! Who's playing this Batman? Robert Pattinson.
You're part of this too.
How am I part of it?
You'll see.
He looks so broken. Only in theaters. How are you gonna put question mark 0, question mark 1? Like,
I'm so excited
What?
for this film. It's amazing.
This movie
that
looks
you only
dope.
shot, you know, a quarter of it, and it's already feels so robust and intricate.
That's
and I
why
can't
they
wait
don't
to
have
see the
later
finished
shots of
product.
her as
Thank you so much
Catwoman
for
in the
being
suit
here,
yet.
with me
That's
and with all
why.
the fans around
Because they
the
haven't
world. We're
finished
so
it. They haven't
excited for
gotten to
this
that
film.
point in
I
the
know I
movie
speak for
yet.
them when I say that we are all super pumped for the Batman.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. It's
I'm
a
also very
pleasure and an
pumped
honor to be
for
here,
the
and
Batman.
I'm really excited that we're going to get back to making this movie so that you guys can see it.
Guys, a huge